This episode of Boku dake, episode 1 of Boku dake, easily a 10 out of 10 episode. Definitely one of the best anime that I have seen today, because, I've had a lot of videos coming out today, and this was definitely the best episode that I have seen today. And even the best episode that I have seen so far of the winter season of anime for 2016. Definitely, this was a 10 out of 10 anime. I've been looking forward toward this series. Once I saw it on the anime chart, the anime list for the animes to come out this season, this was an anime that I had my eyes on for quite a while, and I knew it had potential. I knew it was going to do well, and episode 1 didn't let us down. So the story to this series is a very unique one. We have a 29-year-old male protagonist who is a manga author who apparently has the supernatural ability in order to prevent certain catastrophes that happen throughout the world. And the way how he prevents these certain catastrophes is going through experiences called revivals, which basically he has about 5 minutes to revert back to the past before the event began and try to pinpoint certain locations or people that he comes into contact with in order to prevent the event that is about to unfold. And this makes the overall premise to the story very enjoyable to watch, and dang, what went down in this episode was so ridiculous. Halfway through the episode, we get introduced that apparently Satoru ended up having a friend back in his childhood days who he would play with, a friend named Yuki, but Yuki was an adult at the time, and apparently he was actually framed for kidnapping. Apparently there was these serial kidnappings and serial murders that actually went down, and the cops ending up blaming Yuki for the event. So he is framed for this event, and then we get introduced later on. What happens throughout the episode is that basically the person who ended up framing Yuki is back once again. We see that Satoru and his mom are leaving a grocery shop, and then all of a sudden you experience that time relapse where Satoru goes and experiences his revival phenomenon, and he feels very uneasy about the thing. Now, Satoru didn't realize what actually was going on, even though he has the power, but his mother caught on to the person who was trying to kidnap a little girl, and then he ended up leaving the little girl where he was. So it was a failed kidnapping, but she knew who exactly that was. She ended up figuring out who this person was, and then by the end of the episode, that person who ended up framing Yuki and who also failed at the kidnapping of the little girl ends up stabbing our main male character's mother to death. Holy crap! And now with his mother dead, he is actually being framed for the death of his own mother. And this is where the story will unfold in the coming episodes, because now shit is starting to hit the fan, and it's getting really, really ridiculous now, which is very entertaining. We have it to where, in the beginning parts of the episode, we see that, he has experienced these revivals or these relapses for only 5 minutes at a time, to where he can pinpoint certain events that happen. Now it looks like at the end of the episode, he experiences a relapse to where, he goes all the way back to his childhood, and now as a kid, he has to figure out who exactly is the one that framed Yuki, and then this will ending up preventing what is actually going to happen in the present life, and maybe even prevent his mother's death by the end of the series. The animation in this episode was pretty good as well. It was nothing really special, nothing we really haven't seen before, but the animation was good nonetheless. And, there was some really good music in this episode too. The voice acting was on. It was freaking awesome. It was on point. It really was. Especially where we see the death scene of the mother. How that scene was handled, especially with Satoru. Because Satoru, his personality is, he's a very monotone guy, really. And, he was kind of making fun, talking shit. Not really talking shit about his mom, whatever. But he's you know, you come to my house and you're throwing all this stuff around, and then all of a sudden when he walks into the room and sees his mother just laying there, his whole expression just changes, and you can really tell that the voice as well got really emotional as well. And that scene, the way they handled that scene was just so awesome. The voice acting, the animation, the music in this episode, and just the overall story of this series, definitely one of the best that I have seen. And this is definitely a anime that is most likely going to be the potential for the best anime of the season. And maybe we're not in a we're not at the end of the year yet, but definitely this has the potential to be one of the top contenders for Anime 2016. I know I'm fangasming right now, but you know, the way this episode was handled, it was very good. And honestly, you know, I didn't really expect this series to be this good. I mean, I did expect that this series did have potential, but man, the first episode really blew me out of the water. It really did. This was a fantastic episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below of the first episode to Boku dake. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to stay updated to my future content on this channel, please hit the red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Catch you guys next time.